Ashneer Grover, founder, investor and the star of Shark Tank is back in the news again because BharatPe has gone all guns blazing at its estranged founder Ashneer Grover. So the BharatPe versus Ashneer Grover saga drama continues. Now, in fact, 3 cases have been filed by BharatPe against Ashneer Grover this week. Not content with filing a criminal complaint seeking 88 crore in damages, the company has filed a third bazooka against Ashneer Grover this week. So apart from an EOW complaint and a civil suit, BharatPe has filed an arbitration plea to claw back Ashneer Grover's unvested shares and strip him of his founder title. Now remember, Grover holds a roughly 8.5% stake in BharatPe, of which 1.4% was not vested at the time of his contentious departure from the company. Now, the company has also urged the arbitration tribunal that Ashneer Grover's unvested shares should be awarded to BharatPe co-founder Shashwat Nakrani for a cash consideration of 33 lakh rupees. But in reality, Grover's 1.4% stake would be worth 320 crore rupees if you take BharatPe's most recent valuation of $2.8 billion. Now remember, this is not the only case against Ashneer Grover. As we mentioned early on, BharatPe has filed 2 other cases as well, one of which is a civil suit that was filed against Ashneer Grover, his wife Madhuri Jain and other family members seeking 88 crore in damages for alleged misappropriation of funds. In addition, the company has also filed a criminal complaint with the Economic Offences Wing on 17 counts, including embezzlement, forgery, criminal breach of trust, which could land the Grovers in jail for up to 10 years if proven guilty. Now, if you're wondering why now, why has all this come out all of a sudden, considering both parties have been fighting for a really long time, well, remember, Ashneer Grover is all set to release his book Doglapan this month, which apparently has a very candid account of what really went on at BharatPe. Is BharatPe trying to apply pressure? Will his book see light of day? How is this case going to finally pan out? These are some of the things that we will have to wait and see in the following weeks. But this is clearly an unprecedented case in the Indian startup ecosystem where a fintech has gone after its founder. Now let's tell you about the suit itself because it has some very startling claims against Ashneer Grover and his family on how they ended up using BharatPe's money for various personal expenses. In fact, our team at Moneycontrol accessed and reviewed a part of the 2,800-page civil suit filed by BharatPe against the Grovers, which alleges an astounding web of fake bills, misappropriation of company funds for personal use. Now, what are those instances? Well, here are a few alleged instances of misuse of company funds. Non-existent vendors were paid 72 crore. That is one of the allegations. They say that Madhuri Jain, Ashneer Grover's wife and the former head of controls at BharatPe, signed off on payments to third-party vendors who did not provide any real services or goods to the company. These payments to approximately 30 such vendors, totaling 72 crore rupees, came to the attention of the GST department when the company claimed input tax credit on these payments. In addition, the tax authority imposed a 1.66 crore penalty on the company. Now, the other charge is that they siphoned off 7.6 crore in the name of recruitment services. Now, BharatPe uses third-party contractors to help recruit some of its employees according to this lawsuit. Now, according to the lawsuit, Madhuri Jain approved payments totaling 7.6 crore to 8 such vendors who did not assist the company in recruiting any employees. Now, BharatPe CEO Suhail Sameer, for example, was shown to be hired through a human resources vendor named Vikas Enterprises, despite being hired directly by the company. Moreover, the company claims that Jain and her family members not only connived to carry out these fraudulent transactions on recruitment services, but that these 8 vendors also had close ties to them and to each other. Now, the other charges include that Grovers used company money for rent on their Duplay, LED TVs and fridge. So, on company accounts, it is alleged that the Grovers lived in a posh South Delhi neighborhood called Panchsheel Park from September 29 to January 2021. The Duplay apartment was originally requisitioned as a company guest house, but the Grover family used it as their residence, according to the suit. The family also invited BharatPe employees to a Diwali celebration on the Duplay's terrace, complete with catered food, drinks and decoration. The company footed a bill of 52 lakh as rent and security deposit for this house. Interestingly, the Grovers still live in the same neighborhood but in a different apartment. In addition, the company claimed that Grovers of the family used company funds to purchase home appliances such as LED TV television sets and a refrigerator. They also say that the interior designing of BharatPe's office was done by Madhuri Jain's own company. Now, the issue with BharatPe was that a company that received contracts for such work was owned by Madhuri Jain. The lawsuit claims that Jain awarded these contracts to her own interior design firm, Mauve and Brown. Mauve and Brown had already been paid around 48 lakh rupees for their service before the company's board was made aware of the related party nature of these transactions. That's not all. The company's accepted vendor approval process at the time required that any proposed vendors' quotes be compared to 2 independent market quotes. Jain was thus required to obtain such quotes in order to approve the transaction with Mauve and Brown. But instead of following this vendor approval process, she obtained fictitious quotes from vendors that were not independent and thus could not be used to validly approve transactions with her own company. According to the lawsuit, some of these quotations were clearly backdated in order to give legitimacy to earlier transactions with Mauve and Brown. In fact, 2 of the vendors have similar names. The quotations were received within a minute of each other, and the quotations are written in similar typefaces, raising concerns about the authenticity and validity of the quotations. Furthermore, Annapurna Interior Decorators and Furnitures, one of the vendors who sent these backdated quotations, was a subcontractor for M&B, so its quotation was not exactly independent. BharatPe has now claimed rupees 1.85 crore in payments to M&B that were made in violation of internal controls by arranging for fictitious quotes. Now, the suit also alleges that there were family trips and vacations that were made on company funds. In its suit, BharatPe claims that a Rajasthan-based travel agency raised invoices in the name of Ashneer Grover and Madhuri Jain for foreign trips twice, one for the couple and once for their children. The company also claimed that the couple used company funds to take family vacations to Dubai and the US. Further, for a trip to Dubai that the company arranged for its CXOs, Jain allegedly misappropriated funds to pay for visa-related expenses of family members. In another case, BharatPe has alleged that Madhuri Jain made the company pay for the Mumbai-Delhi flight tickets of her family members who did not work for the company. Here's another bizarre allegation that came up in this BharatPe suit. According to the suit, Madhuri Jain requested and received reimbursement for rupees 22,500 rupees worth of skincare treatment in August of last year. The invoice was initially raised to her interior design firm and she later sought reimbursement for it, which she was not authorized to do. In another instance of alleged misappropriation of funds, the Grovers arranged for a payment be made to Golden Holidays, a vendor providing travel agency services, for a booking in Thailand. However, Golden Holidays did not offer any such services. Furthermore, the company had already paid another travel agencies for the same booking and dates. Now, this is an astounding web of transactions, allegations, related party transactions, and misappropriation of funds. But this saga has prompted various questions. Why now, and what's going to happen next? And what was the board and the management of the company doing for such a long time? Weren't the other members of the management aware of what was happening in the company during Ashneer Grover's stint? It was virtually being run like a Lala company. But what were they doing then? What types of audits were conducted? Why did the board and the investors object over the involvement of a founder's family in finance and control functions? Because remember, Madhuri Jain Grover, married to Ashneer, controlled the entire finance and control functions, which is a huge conflict of interest. Well, the mudslinging continues between Ashneer Grover and BharatPe. For now, if you look at Ashneer Grover's tweet and timeline, he doesn't seem to really be bothered. He, in fact, is promoting his book Doglapan, stating that all the truth will come out in that book. This is not going to be the latest in the Ashneer Grover versus BharatPe saga. We will be bringing you continuous updates, but tell us what you thought about this bizarre web of allegations and counter allegations. Who's in the right? Who's in the wrong?